Hey everybody, TacBishop here again. Do a video tonight from the gym again. First part is going to be to my old buddy, my Hollow Point. He accuses me of standing in front of the machines and doing videos and not knowing how to use the video or how to use the machines. So to that I say, you know, I keep in mind now I'm 57 years old. I don't smoke 2 packs of cigarettes a day like you do, but still, it looks like the machines are working. I mean, I don't know. I use those over there some and some over here, but I mean, that ain't bad for an old man. Like I said, I don't smoke, but you know, whatever. But the main part of this video is to some of the new drivers, the younger drivers that are thinking about becoming, well, maybe, yeah, new drivers, car drivers that are possibly wanting to be CDL commercial drivers one day, tractor trailer drivers, whatever you want to call it. This video is for you to remind you to always be in control of everything you do, especially when you're driving. Don't leave anything to chance. Don't make any mistakes. Make any bad decisions like texting, cell phone calls, any distracted driving. We had a girl here last week, just before Thanksgiving, was found to be texting while driving. She drove off the road a little bit and overcorrected, hit a tree, and I'll put her picture up right here. And 17 years old, and the text seemed important to her at the time. She was on a straightaway, but it proved to be fatal. It was really bad. Her classmates are really having a hard time getting over this and dealing with it. I hope they all learn a lesson from it. It's something I see a lot now of people texting and driving and flipping through whatever they're doing. I can see them passing me all day, and every 5th or 6th car is like this, you know, with their thumb. Or I was behind a lady the other day that was trying to make a left turn. She wouldn't go, and I wonder what the problem was. It was just didn't seem that busy. And when she finally turned, she was doing this. I guess she couldn't hold the phone in this hand, so she's holding the phone in this hand, trying to look in both directions and drive. And she had a big winter coat on. You know, she has no business talking on the phone. She's not that experienced driver. I don't think anybody is that experienced that they can multitask when they're on the road. My opinion, if everybody would stop distracted driving, pay attention to what they're doing 100% of the time, that would be the end of all accidents. I heard a thing the other day about truck drivers driving tired, driving distracted, but it said the #1 accident for truck drivers now it's always coupled with speed, but is tailgating. I forgot what the statistic was, but it was really high, that all truck crashes where it's the truck driver's fault is always following too close. They did, I think it was in Ohio, they checked a couple of drivers. I don't know if they've raised the speed limit in Ohio or not, but trucks used to could only go 55 miles an hour in Ohio. Clocked this truck doing 77, tailgating the car. You know, that was from the helicopter. So this stuff is just nonsense. I've done it several times. If I see you tailgating somebody with a tractor trailer, if I can get your company's phone number, I will call in on you and I will turn you in, no doubt. And just a couple weeks ago, I caught a guy doing it, driving a gas truck, tailgating, pushing cars, wanting people to get out of his way, erratic lane changes. I called in, you know, I mean, I don't know if it does any good or not, but, you know, if it didn't, that's 1 strike against him. You know, if he does it again, if he continues getting calls, they'll eventually take him off the road, and hopefully before he hurts somebody. But that's all I really wanted to say. Just be careful, take your time, pay attention. Another example, another story from my past, I had a dump truck, and we were building a road, turning a divided highway into a 4-lane highway. We're going to have northbound traffic and southbound. And we were going into a pit to pick up sand and carrying it down to various places down the road. And the way they paid us, we had a dumping site, B, C, D, E. And when you pulled out of the pit, wherever they wanted you to go, they told this girl up in the, had a little platform she stood on, told her what ticket to give you, and when you see the ticket, you knew which driveway to go into and stage your sand so they could bulldoze it or whatever. But she's standing there with this flowing blonde hair, you know, just as pretty as you ever want to see, against this backdrop of green and dirt and dump trucks. There's just blonde hair there flowing in the breeze. But when I was coming back on one particular trip, traffic was heavy. It was on a Friday. The beach traffic was going down, so I was waiting to make a left turn into the pit. I'm sitting there looking at her, looking around, waiting. And luckily, I had the truck in gear. I look up in the mirror, all of a sudden, I see this tractor trailer just coming on me fast, and I can see that the driver's not even looking at me. He's looking at her. And so I just naturally just take off. I couldn't turn, so I take off, and hopefully I can get out of his way. But about the same time he comes back, he hits the brakes. I see the tire just smoking. It looked like he locked up the whole truck and trailer. Everything was just smoke everywhere. I'm going through the gears as hard as I can, trying to keep ahead. He goes right up behind me, and I couldn't even see him anymore. That's how close he got. And somehow we stayed apart and we didn't hit. And I went down a little ways and turned around and came back, and he was apologizing on the radio. And, you know, I was kind of laughing it off then, but he could have hurt me. He could have hurt himself. He could have lost his job. You know, he could have panicked and went into the traffic head on. I mean, if he'd hit me, he may have knocked me into the traffic. All that just because of a couple of seconds of distracted driving. And so, like I said before, just try to keep your head in the game and your eyes on the road. If you want to change your radio station, if you can do it, or wherever it is without looking at it, great. But if you have to look at it, don't do it. Stop. Change your radio station if you have to. If you need to make a phone call, don't try to dial the phone. I would suggest not using a phone unless you have the headset. If you have to pull over like I do, if I have to make a phone call, I pull over and stop, make the call, get the Bluetooth going, throw it down, and drive. You know, I'm not going to try to dial even for a second, because if I drop off the road, off the shoulder of the road, life is over for me. You know, I don't even want to go down that route, you know, so I'm 100% careful 100% of the time, and I hope you do too. So that's my public service announcement from here at the gym, and I do know what I'm doing with these machines. TacBishop signing out.